Hello, everybody. Good evening. I wanted to hop on here for a little bit and take you through tomorrow's severe threat. So I'll give people a couple of seconds to join in here. I have the camera showing from up there in Natchitoches and Toledo Bend, and looks like just cars going across the bridge. Nothing going on really right now. So we have some rain showers. It's kind of left behind from what we had this morning. This is moving out to the east. That moisture and instability is about to return. And so what we're going to see here, from what I'm seeing, is a severe threat that's going to materialize tomorrow, and it could get kind of rough in the afternoon and evening. Haven't seen this in a little while. So here's what we're looking at. Let's take you on the tour here. And this is not going to be overly long. I just wanted to pop on this Christmas evening before we go watch another little family Christmas movie and give you a rundown, because I know tomorrow evening we're going to be talking a little bit, I think. So here's what we're looking at tomorrow. A level 2 of 5, slight risk for severe weather is in the forecast for most, pretty much all of the area. That line's going to be weakening a little bit, perhaps as it heads toward the Mississippi River, but I would say for all intents and purposes, this thing is pretty much a slight risk for severe weather area-wide. So that's what we have on the SPC outlook. Here's what we have when we kind of break down and go through the actual threats here. So we have the hail risk, which is going to be the lowest of the three. There could be some supercells out ahead of that main line. So I do think, a 5% risk within 25 miles of a point, pretty accurate for our area. Maybe a little bit higher risk out here to the west from Toledo Bend down through Western Vernon and Beauregard Parish. I think wind and tornadoes, that's going to be the main risk. Now, when I say that, I mean, a tornado is a significant thing. I think they'd be isolated at worst. So, maybe one or two in the area, but that's all it takes. So here's your severe wind outlook. Most of us in a 15% risk within 25 miles of a point. So there could be some isolated damaging wind, and there could be isolated tornadoes at a 2 to 5% risk, with that 5% confined pretty much west of the Mississippi River, which is pretty much our entire area. So there is that outlook showing that 5% risk for tornadoes. I would not be surprised to see this get bumped up to a 10% in the morning, and that's when they'll do the update. I think that threat would be for tomorrow late afternoon into the evening. Now let me take you on the tour through the future track here. This is our HRRR model. I'm actually going to be getting an updated one here in just a few minutes, and that's going to go over the next hour that'll run. So I'll perhaps post some thoughts later if I see any sort of major change, but this is what we're looking like through tonight into tomorrow. It's all pretty tame until about 1 o'clock. Then you start to see these individual cells start to pop up. We have a pretty big cluster of storms out there from Dallas-Fort Worth down to the south. And by about 4 or 5 p.m., you can see, or 6 p.m., we're going to see not only are we going to have that line of storms out here, but it's kind of a broken line, which we don't like. And then we have these isolated storms that are going to be a little further removed out to the east. And that's where we could see some severe threat. I think that's where we would actually see the higher end severe threat with any of these isolated cells that pop out to the east. So going further into the evening, 9 o'clock, you can kind of see how these storms all have that little supercellular appearance to them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're up and down the line here, even one out here to the east. Now, of course, this isn't going to be exactly what we see, but this gives me an idea that things are going to be a little bit more linear, though I think we'll have embedded supercells in that line. Again, it weakens a bit as it heads toward the Mississippi River by about midnight, and then it really just kind of dies out as it goes across Mississippi into southeast Louisiana. So I do think there's going to be a severe threat. I think especially from about 4 until midnight, that's the main risk. I think out west it starts sooner and it finishes up later out to the east, moving west to east. That makes sense. You understand. And then we have another threat for possibly some more severe weather for Friday evening into Friday night, and that could linger into Saturday. So it's going to be busy here in the weather center. I am actually going to be down at Families tomorrow, and I'll be peeling off as soon as things get really crazy. I'll come back up here. Don't worry, we're going down there early. We'll get plenty of family time in. And I'm going to leave everybody else there. We have separate cars. So I'll be back here for that. Tom would jump on in the event we had something pop up ahead of all of this and got here earlier. But that's kind of the plan for now. But I wanted to take you on a little tour of this severe threat. I'll take you through real quick once again on that HRRR model. We don't have the whole new one in, so I'm just going off the one that came out here at noon. And it's been pretty consistent, actually. I'm just going to walk you through it. So nothing much overnight tonight. We don't have any real severe threat at all through tonight. By tomorrow around noon, 1 o'clock, storms start to try and pop up here as that instability and lift increases. You can see here thunderstorms by about 4 o'clock out there around Toledo Bend, maybe up toward Natchitoches, and then continuing into the later evening. That's when we're going to see that line push right into the middle of central Louisiana, and that thing's lined up on 165 from Monroe to Alexandria to Lake Charles at 9 p.m., and then we go toward midnight. Things continue toward the Mississippi River and start to break up and really dissipate after midnight. So that's some good news there that it's going to dissipate. Unfortunately, that happens right after it moves through here, and then we go further into the future, and that's where that run ends. So it ends around, I believe, noon. So I'm going to be watching things. I'm not only watching this threat, but another one for late Friday into Saturday as well. So again, it's going to be busy for a little while here. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas. Rest up, relax tonight. I'm going to do that, and then we'll see what tomorrow brings. But I'll be here for it. Tom will be here for it, and we'll be watching it all, and we'll keep you as posted as we can. All right, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, and then